What's up, and welcome into the CF after. Wait, no, shit, I fucked that up already. Everything's going wrong today. The CF After Dark post game show. I'm Matthias Schwarzkopf. With me, got Dylan Kuhn and Matt Nelson. I would ask you guys in pure fashion of how things are going, but I assume not the best.
Pretty bad. To sum it up, Matthias, not great.
Been better.
The Matt's mic started up the same way that Iowa State's defense did this game and was basically non-existent. So we had that going for us. So pretty on brand for the day.
Yeah, and the screw holding mine in is limp. Also, just like Iowa State's defense. And my mic is actually being held in this position by a Crayola marker. You can't see it on the camera. So, we're leaking some oil over here.
If that's not the most dad thing that you could have possibly said in this moment, I don't know what is.
Yep.
Matt's whole life is being held together by kids writing
Dylan,
utensils.
How are you feeling?
So I mean, I was in the building at Kansas and witnessed that manslaughter, and then like this morning going into this game, it felt like it was either you were going to get a pissed off Iowa State team that was mad that they got embarrassed Tuesday night, or it was a trap game and you just got punched in the face for the first time all season and you're going to come off slow. I'm guessing we're going to talk about this quite a bit, but starting slow has really just been the calling card of Big 12 conference play. We've done it literally every single game, even the games we've won. And it was no different today. And Cincinnati, I think like a lot of it too is setting the tone for a game. And Cincinnati just like waking up hot from three. That's how they set their tone. And Milan ended up having a great game, but he misses his first couple of threes. You know, that allows Cincinnati to really focus on the paint, on defense. Joshua Jefferson's turning it over. You just it was the exact kind of start that you didn't need. And they're becoming pretty predictable.
Yeah, we talked about it on Saturday, just a week ago today. Dylan, you were in here, and we talked about the last, the slow starts and how we were hoping they weren't becoming a problem, and they continue to be a major issue. And a team that is ranked second in the nation, which will now not be ranked second in the nation, and you have aspirations of being a national title contender and ultimately making a Final Four run, you have to have the ability to start out fast and bury your opponents, much like we have been put. I shouldn't say necessarily we've been buried, but put these guys down in a hole and allow your defense to set in and take over the game. And we just haven't seen Iowa State do that for 5 games in the Big 12 play. So unfortunate. And it's a little bit disheartening right now, as considering where the highs of the highs have been for this Iowa State basketball team early on in this season. But the good news is, you're 18 games in this. You got 12, 20 more, or 14 more to go before the Big 12 tournament starts, and then the NCAA tournament starts. But there's some things this Iowa State basketball team needs to get figured out quickly, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows right now.
And Matt, you posted before the game of just kind of like getting caught up on like what did go wrong against Kansas, what could go wrong against Cincinnati. Another thing that we're just like, Cincinnati, not a good offensive team, not a good offensive basketball team. They haven't been all season, and you let them score 79 points. Like that's a major concern. I think right now I'm probably more concerned about the defense than the offense. Because most of the offense, Milan played great today, 31 points. Might have been a career high. It would have been close.
34
but outside
points.
of that, we're like 1 for 7 from 3 as a team. Taman wasn't really effective shooting from the field. So the offense hasn't been great, but giving up 79 points to Cincinnati is a bigger concern, especially because that's what this team is built on, is defense. And the last 2 games, it has not looked like that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's where we should start. Offensively hasn't been great. No. but this team can win scoring 70 points. They actually shot 43% from field goal and from three. Yeah, now Milan obviously skews that tremendously, but these starts, Dylan, at Kansas and Cincinnati on the road, it's both been defense. It has been them getting into the post way too much, which is something we try to restrict. Today it was actually skip passes that I noticed that really broke the team. Skip passes and offensive rebound. This team's defense is designed to do two things: to keep the ball out of the paint and to limit that skip pass. It's a very hard pass to make, and both now Kansas and Cincinnati have done that well, and they've figured out how to attack our defense, which is to get the ball into. Now, I'm not necessarily going to say the paint, but like elbow paint-ish area, right? It makes it easier to make that skip pass. The doubles haven't been as effective. I think we saw a little bit more of that as the game wore on, but I had a lot of people text me about the open threes. Our defense is designed to give up some open threes, right? It shouldn't come off the pass. We're supposed to take that away. And there needs to be a better contest than there's been, and those two things have been missing. But at the same time, you have to recognize Kansas and Cincinnati, two very, very poor three-point shooting teams, started both games just scorching. And yes, the looks were open, but it has not really mattered with those teams. I tweeted 10 minutes through the game, Cincinnati had 5 makes. Guys, they had 7 in their last game, right? Within the first 10 minutes of this game, they were basically at their last game's total. So some of that is just a run of bad luck, but Iowa State is not making it easier on themselves. They're not playing hard enough on defense.
Yeah, I guess I would also add in on, I'm seeing a lot of comments here in the chat about how the offense has been bad, but, one thing that's made this Iowa State offense as good it has been forcing the turnovers and scoring out the turnovers. That helps inflate your offense's numbers a lot. And when you're not forcing turnovers, you're taking away possessions that are easy baskets and, seeing us score in those methods. We're not doing that. And then the other thing is when we're running poor offensive sets and maybe you're not getting those extra possessions, and there goes Dylan in the middle of the show. He might come back. We'll see. The extra rebounds aren't there. We're getting beat on the boards. You're allowing we're not able to get our defensive set on the other end of the floor when you're getting runouts from rebounds. Did you die there, Dylan?
I couldn't hear you anymore. You just went totally mute. And since Matt was like nodding in agreement with what you were saying, I was like, I'm probably the only one that can't hear you. So I just had to come back.
Well, it's probably for the best. It's usually when I'm talking, like nobody wants to listen anyway. So like, it just might as well, it probably would have been for the better. I don't even remember what I was saying. We just got to play, we got to play better. We got to play better on both ends of the floor. And another thing too, that really strikes out to me is we talked about it with Bloom on the post-game show the other night. The last 2 games, Iowa State's been officiated a little more tightly. They haven't been able to be the aggressor defensively per se. We saw Taman get into foul trouble, Joshua Jefferson get into foul trouble, Milan get into foul trouble. We just haven't been able to be the ones that could normally be the aggressor on defensively. And then today, that first half was officiated a little bit differently. And now Iowa State at the end of the game, the foul trouble was more nodded towards the Cincinnati side of things. It just felt like Cincinnati was more aggressive right off the tone, and they set the tone right away. And it's Iowa State has fallen into the trap more so of playing down. I shouldn't say playing down to the level, but playing within the game of their opponent versus actually dictating the tempo of the game. And I think that's been the thing that's hurt them more so than anything, whether it's offensive, defensively, it all goes into one big pot at the end of the day. But where we have seen Iowa State at their best, they are the ones dictating the pace of the game. They are the ones dictating the physicality of the game. And we just haven't seen that. And you can throw it all the way back into the Oklahoma State game where, Oklahoma State really, it felt like they controlled what the game was. Iowa State was just better at the end of the day in that one with better players and were able to hit key shots and ultimately win that game by 10 points. But these last 2, for sure, they just didn't match what the other team was bringing.
And like these last 2 games, I think Cincinnati and Kansas probably have bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic guys than we've seen really all season. Purdue and Iowa, both really skilled. Syracuse doesn't really have that same kind of Creighton. They don't have that level of athletes. So this is kind of, but the thing is like the Big 12 is loaded with these teams that have supersized wings and guys that can make those skip passes. And the other thing that I've just found this season, it seems like teams aren't as rushed by the trap and the blitzing that we do on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think teams are kind of starting to figure that out. They've been practicing that now for, 3 or 4 years, as long as we've been doing that. And teams look more prepared against that. And that puts our defense into scramble mode a lot of the times. And these offenses know right where the ball needs to go to get a good look. And we're kind of seeing that system not be as efficient. And then when we do force turnovers, Matthias, I think you said this, but like we're not getting the points off turnovers. Like even earlier this season, Killian Toure, someone had that comment of like his pick six dunks where he would just pick the pocket, like unchecked dunk in transition. And we haven't seen that in a while. So just like some things that we're not accustomed to. I don't know if it's all opponent based. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, no, I think it's a little bit of a couple different things, Dylan. One is definitely defense has been scouted well, right? Against teams we play regularly, they know how to come against it. I think I've noticed the same thing athletically. We don't look as fast as Cincinnati today, right? Kansas looked like they were playing at 2x speed against us on Tuesday. So two supremely athletic teams for sure. But some of it, Dylan, is just shot making. Like late in that game, I mean, how many mid-range twos did they hit? 6?
Yeah.
It's at least 4 or 5 back-to-back possessions at one point. We're fine with giving you those shots. Those are not good shots. We want you to take those types of looks. And Day, those guys splashed him today, right? Like every time they pulled up from one of those, I said to my wife, I'm like, that's a fine shot to give up. Go ahead, take the long two. They made them. So you've got to give Cincinnati and Kansas both, I mean, honestly played well. I think if you would ask some other fans, they would maybe say that's about as well as we can play. The thing that I think this game to me was very similar to what we did against Baylor. We didn't get as good a production from the bench and a few other players, but the big difference is field goal attempts by Cincinnati. I had to look this stat up twice because I don't think that it's real. We attempted 51 from the field, Dylan, and 21 from 3. They attempted 69 and 34.
That is terrible.
Almost 30 more shot attempts than we put up. 30 more. That's almost. And okay, so your brain right away goes to, is it because we had a zillion turnovers? We had 12. No. That's not terrible. 12 is a fine number. As a team, you want to average around 11 or 12, right? Like that's all right. It was offensive rebounds, right? And a lot of our offensive rebounds didn't necessarily lead to more shots. A lot of times we got it and passed it back out. They would just play volleyball on the rim. I've never seen. I mean, if you look at the shooting percentages, we shot the same from 2, and they were only 29% from 3, which is what they shoot on the year. But they had 34 attempts from 3. We had 21, right? That's the difference in the game. They just got more shots up. And the other thing that you lost by 9, you shot 17 of 27 from the line. So you love the 27 trips. Even if you make 3 or 4 more field goal, free throws, now it's a 5-point game. And you've got a chance down the stretch to make it more interesting. So give Cincinnati credit. They're not a good free throw shooting team, and they went 9 for 12. So if you're looking at this, there's one clear thing that's happening. I don't think it is that simple. However, I think the number one thing we've seen through 2 games is teams have some decent tape on us. Dill. Now, I'm not worried about the offense. It's on the defensive side. You still can't guard Jefferson. Momcilovic can still shoot. Taman is still super talented. It's on defense. It's the first 10 minutes of this game defensively. They are throwing stuff at us that we cannot overcome. And it gets so you've got to push the rock uphill right away. And we struggle with that. It's very clear.
Yeah.
Matt, and the thing about this Iowa State team, we're so hard to beat when we play true complementary basketball. Like, it's impossible to beat us. If we're rebounding well, if we're turning you over, we are naturally, where Iowa State wants to make its bread and butter is Like, we have more shot attempts than you, we out-rebounded you, and we turned you over more. I'm like,
Right.
those are the 3 analytics that TJ wants to be in front of every single time, because you could shoot terribly, and it wouldn't matter. Like, if you just stack enough attempts over the other team, you're getting that many more looks at the basket than they are, becomes a numbers game of, hey, if you shoot
Right.
65 shots compared to 45, even if you're shooting terribly, you're going to make that up. And that was what made it so. And like Houston, that's where Houston, it's so hard to beat them because they're going to out rebound you and turn you over and attempt more shots. And when Iowa State can't control that, and Cincinnati, like, they do have a good rebounding front court. They have, Baba Miller. Also, when he hit that 3, I know like every Iowa State fan watching that was like, we're going to lose. If Baba Miller hits a 3 and he's 3 for 25 on the season, that is just a brutal, that's like of course he did kind of a moment.
We've got to talk about the name Baba Miller for just like 1 second, right? It's incredible.
Yeah, it sounds like a super villain or like some kind of like monster that you see in like a dark hallway. The Baba Miller.
Jizzle James and the Baba. Yeah, the Baba Miller. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe give us nightmares.
Yeah.
I want to call a comment out, Matthias, because I want to get your thoughts. It's from our friend Kyle.
I saw it.
And I figured you would. Are people saying that we're getting out coached? And boy, it would be so CF After Dark to just come on here and start flamethrowing and start pounding the table and saying, yes, that sucks. I think he's getting out coached. Our defense is super hard to play against. It is. And over the course of the game, it does work. But whatever they're doing in these first 10 minutes, I think TJ spoke about it after the Kansas game. Teams are finding something they can exploit right away, and it's working. So, Kyle, to your point, I don't think like our scheme is bad. It's just other coaches have found a niche that they can exploit. So I don't know, Matthias, is that getting out coached to you? How does that sit with you?
I gotta take that as old as time here with our the band formerly known as Wide Right Natty Light and now into CF After Dark. But and I don't mean to. Yes, I do. I mean to do this.
Yes.
I think offensively, I think we've been outcoached for a long time because I think our offensive sets are poor. And we rely too much on that points off of turnover method to get out and run, hit some threes and things like that. Now, we do, like you saw in the first, 3 minutes of this game, Iowa State ran clean sets. They were up 6-2. Then when the game gets muddy, they revert to a too much isolation ball. And where I think this team has a weak coaching spot is you could look at Nate Schmidt. Offense. Yep, you can look at Nate Schmidt and think there needs to be some major adjustments there that continue to have plagued us for the entire TJ Otzelberger era. And thankfully, the defense has been good enough to win games over the years, but there's still a lot more to be desired offensively in that half-court offense for this team to take that next step. So we've been harping on it as a group for a very long time, and you hate to just dog on somebody over time, but when there's clearly some sort of issue there that we need to look at, and Nate Schmidt might be a very nice guy, and but he needs to make some adjustments going forward. So
I'm sure he's a wonderful person.
You might be a nice fellow, but make some changes here because we need to do something a little bit different. And you can't always rely on Milan to score 34 points a game, right? Because you have Taman Lipsy, you have Joshua Jefferson, and you have Milan that are your three-headed horse. But there could be a case where certain offensive possessions that these teams are going to take away these three guys. So whether it's getting Killian Torre going a little bit quicker than what he is now. Now it does seem like he's adjusting to the game a little bit, and that's totally fair as a freshman going into the Big 12. We've already talked about it. The Big 12 is good. The Big 12 has been good for a very long time and will continue to be good, but we need to find a way to create that fourth guy that can help you out while these other guys, because if that fourth guy comes on, then they can't just key on those three guys, and then it opens up the half court sets a lot more. And I think really this team does feed off of offensive, defensive, defensively, offensively. If we can figure out something defensively, if we're being more aggressive, the offense is probably going to correct itself. Now, if you can go down the other way, get the good half court sets, and you're making more shots than you're not, and you're able to set your defense, that's going to take care of itself. But these last 2 games, we haven't been able to do either of those. So
let's talk about
there's some adjustments to be made.
Yeah, and there's good film on, we don't always have to double. And if you go watch our tape, there are times where we don't. I would argue Buchanan and Momcilovic especially, this defense has improved so much. I think you can play straight up one-on-one at times, probably more than we do. I think today some of those Cincinnati bigs some of their wings were so large they were able to pass around that double team, right? Like there was one, I forget who it was, number 23, the big Wendell, and threw a bullet that went under the hoop, like a foot under the rim, all the way to the corner for a 3. And
Beautiful
when that pass got through, I sat there, I said, how did he get that through? Like I could not believe that ball ended up, I would have thought it was going to bounce off the rim or go straight out of bounds, 10 feet in the air. And not every team can do that, but you can adjust a little bit. You can leave. I think Buchanan's a good one-on-one defender. I know Momcilovic has shown that too. So I think that's one adjustment. Another one that just a point I wanted to call out that I've seen a few people mention in the chat is when this team was really cooking. There's a lot of comments about iso ball, fellas, and we've played that quite a bit. But when this team was really rolling, Lipsy and Torrey were scoring about 15 points a game each. That's one of the biggest things I have noticed with this 2-game slide and some of the kind of rocky stuff before that is the guard production has gone way down. It's like if Jefferson and Momcilovic aren't scoring, it's not happening. And early in the season, Buchanan was giving us 10 to 15 points in a lot of those games. So I think we've almost become too reliant. Matthias, to your point, it's like the offense is Momcilovic or Jefferson, just back somebody down and hope we score. That is not offense to me. That's not a set, right? And I think there's too much of that going on right now. And I think you've seen that because everybody else's production has gone way down. It's not like they're not hunting shots. I don't know that they're getting as many opportunities, right? Jefferson has had the ball in his hand a ton, and he is really good, but that's a lot of weight to put on somebody game in and game out to try to have 14 assists and score 30 points.
Do you guys want to go scorched earth here, or do you want to keep it kind of cool? Because I think we could all find some pinpoints of some things that we could go scorched earth on. But I'm looking at Dylan. He's thinking like in really good, smart basketball talk, and I'm thinking like flamethrower time. Let's fucking do this.
That's right. Start throwing. Can
I be Mr. Rogers for a little bit and bring
let's go.
The talking about ball movement. It was against West Virginia, the conference opener. I think. If it's not exactly this, it's pretty close. We had something like 36 made field goals on 32 assists. So we have seen this team really, that was a game Joshua Jefferson had a triple-double in. But everybody, like the ball was just constantly moving. It didn't stick in somebody's hands. They weren't just dribbling to dribble. And even the ISOs I don't mind are the ones, especially with Milan, that come off the pick and roll. Milan slips. And then we clear out that part of the court, that third, and just let him work. It usually ends in like a Dirk turnaround fade. I feel like that almost has to be, if you're giving up a 6-0, 8-0 run, I'm fine with that being like hey, this is what we need to do. And it is basically just an ISO for Milan, but he's been so effective in that I think that's where you kind of have to turn to. But ideally, you don't have to turn to that because you're moving the ball and guys are cutting. And also, Matthias, you were saying a fourth guy needing to step up. Nate Heisey has not looked the same as he did at the end of last season when he kind of had to step in there for Keyshawn and he was getting us 12 to 15 points a game and being aggressive. We haven't seen that same level of aggression on offense, and he's playing the minutes of a starter. He played the 5th most minutes today.
Right.
So I think that's someone you can turn to. He's played 150 college basketball games. Like that guy has played he's been around. And I think this is the time this is his last go.
Sorry, yeah, he's certainly
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, Lance Armstrong's left nut.
I am not erect. That's right. Yeah, same.
Yeah, none of us are at this current time, except for Cyclone Larry in our Slack. He
full positivity on that guy.
His house could be on fire, and he would find a way to find that a positive. So
he's always bricked up.
Yeah, he's always bricked up. He still thinks that JJ McCarthy is playing in this playoff game back here right now. So yeah, JJ McCarthy is still playing according to Larry at this current time. Well, there's one clear thing, I think, and it doesn't correlate to the whole team, but if I had to pick one thing that absolutely has to change today and be better for the rest of the year, well, besides that,
sorry,
Blake Buchanan has to step up. Now, you talk to Virginia fans and things like that. They had their worries about him while he was there, and we're like, oh, God, he's going to Iowa State. Good luck with him, blah, blah, blah. We all saw it the offseason, but he has shown performances this season where he has been effective. And these last 3 games, he has basically been non-existent. And when you have a guy like Plata who is behind him, who is still – not full. Yeah, he's raw. He's not fully there yet. And, he has the raw tools to be there at some point in time. And he has shown good moments, but it's not consistent enough. He's only just a new guy here. But Blake Buchanan has played a ton of college basketball at Division I level. And with Iowa State, struggling to rebound the ball defensively that we saw today. He has to be the guy. He's literally in there to grab rebounds. He's not doing that. He's scoring 4 points a game, 2 of 4 field goals. He missed some bunnies today. He missed 2 bunnies there that were affected by the tall shot blockers of Cincinnati. But, there's pick and roll offense that we don't seemingly run that much either. Have the ability to do that. And being a shot blocker, he hasn't seemingly done that in 3 games. So if I really had to, if I'm going to go point a gun at somebody today and say something has to be, I know if something has to get corrected today, like Blake Buchanan has to be a lot better. So, and if this team wants to be where they want to go, you got to get some production out of that 5 spot. You can't just rely on Joshua Jefferson to be your lone post scorer. And then when you pair that with Plata getting better as the season goes on, because Plata's only playing 8 minutes a game, that's not good. Yeah,
and what's wild is we saw this 2 games ago against Baylor, guys, where we rebounded. Like the key to the game against Baylor was one thing: rebound. They did it. So that, I guess,
grab the ball.
That's what's the most refreshing about this. Grab the ball. You see, it's where you grab the ball and you come down.
Torian Prince.
No, iconic moment. No, it's not like we haven't seen them do this all season. They've been really good at it. And guys, Buchanan has been good really all season, with the exception of the last couple games. And I agree. His production is sorely missed. We need just better effort rebounding, keeping guys away from the rim, a little bit more rim protection. And we've seen that early on in the season, and we just have it here. So I have to look up to get a rebound, says Jason. Yeah, that usually does help. No doubt. While we're talking about rebounding fundamentals with Torian Prince, they can do it, right? We know that they can. We've seen them do it. So I don't know. I don't know if Buchanan is dinged up, or guys, maybe it's just opponents. Like Badunga is really athletic. He's not like physically like super heavy, but crazy athletic, long arm. Is basically the same type of big that you saw today from Cincinnati. And that's the worst part, is Ben has been really awesome. Like we were so happy with that addition through most of the season. And I don't think 2 games means that changes. So I don't know. If I'm being honest, guys, for me, I'm probably let's talk about some more like disappointing things. And I do think we can probably find a positive or 2 eventually. Lipsy has been pretty disappointing the last couple of weeks. I don't know that he's healthy. I don't know that he's ever healthy, but I don't think there's also anything.
It's safe to assume he's not.
Probably not. Correct. But there are games when he can score 20 plus when he wants to, right? He's a really good 3-point shooter. He can hit middies, right? Like we haven't seen it consistently enough the last 2 weeks. We did against Baylor. And then Torrey, I was worried about him about, a month ago. He rebounded pretty well. And again, it's a freshman, so everything that he's doing is still really impressive. I've seen a few calls in the chat for him to be benched. I don't think that's right. There are some things he's struggling with, right? He's a freshman. We just need him going downhill. That's what he did really well early in the season. we've kind of missed that. So I think ball movement's a huge part of it. He just hasn't had the ball in his hands because it's been stuck. So they can get there. I do think it's going to take quite a bit of adjustments, grinding through tape. Like after Kansas, right? We all kind of thought, okay, that KU team we knew was way better than what they had played. They came out fired up. That's maybe not, hard to explain or hard to understand. This one's a little troubling. Cincinnati is horrible offensively. I mean, Wes Miller might be the dumbest offensive mind in all of college basketball. Like, it's bad. Cincinnati fans will tell you that. That's the most disappointing thing, to see how many points they put up. Like, it's unstoppable force meets immovable object. But Cincinnati's offense is movable. They are very movable. They are like 120th in the country movable. So I really thought today we could grind out like a 66-60 win, because their offense is horrible. So I think this whole chat, I see people in the comments talking about offense. I think it's defense, man. You cannot give up that many points to that team. You just cannot do it.
And two, we talk about like Taman struggling, Toure struggling. There were so many times that we would have a kick out to a wide open guy in the corner. And the times I remember, it was Toure and Dom Nelson, and they're wide open. I mean, that's a super efficient jump shot for literally any team in the country, but neither of those guys were even looking to shoot it. And maybe they shouldn't. Neither of them are great corner three-point shooters. But, man, if you had someone sitting over there that could shoot that corner three, he's wide open. Like that they would drive it to the rim, kick out, and then it's like, oh, that guy can't shoot. And just like that's where the spacing really hurts. Like, it's easy to get assists when you're surrounded by shooters and everybody's hitting jump shots. But when Taman's not hitting jump shots, even like Joshua, he's not going to shoot a bunch of jump shots, but he'll throw up a catch and shoot. And if he makes them, that helps spacing too. But if Milan's your only guy,
I feel like teams are. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, Dylan.
You're good.
It strikes me that teams are sagging in the paint on us right now. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah. And that's why Joshua Jefferson, he's backing down his player. Like, he's about to get into his shoulder, turn around, and he gets it stolen because that guy's not even worried about the guy on the 3-point line. He's able to.
He's having his dribbling issues. Yeah.
Well, even, Taman's regressed a little bit in his 3-point shooting. Milan is your only real consistent threat from the 3-point line. And Joshua has hit some threes, but he doesn't look to always take those. Like, he can knock them down we saw at Kansas, he took some. I don't remember him taking a 3-point shot in this game. I'm sure he did, but
here's
0 for 1.
Okay, so it's like, and we know Nelson hasn't even shot one this year. Torrey,
he's got one attempt. I think he's got one attempt.
Torrey has hit some this year, but he's just not consistent from there enough. So, it's you talk about all these other guys, like you talk about, well, hey, once Taman develops that 3-point shot, like in his freshman year, like the offense is going to open up a lot more. Well, he's developed it, but now he's not hitting. Like we saw, he's airballing 3-point shots. He's airballing free throws, front iron the rim.
He was front iron a lot today.
Yeah,
he was short on a lot of shots.
And to me, there's just nothing in your legs when you're doing that because you're short on shots. So maybe that groin really is bothering. I mean, I'm not going to start any. Matt popped in here before.
Possible.
He said, "Hey, let's start some rumors on some chats." But let's start some rumors on some injuries. But I'm not going to start the rumor on the Taman one because we could just assume that he's running with basically he might have to switch one leg to his third leg and just roll with it at that point. If you know, you know.
Speaking of third leg, SciFan 1986 says we need to find Cyclone Larry's girlfriend and bang our way to getting our mojo back. And then he says, just my opinion. I respect that is your opinion. Thank you for stating that.
We did have an ask as Bloom was on here the other night for someone to someone asked Bloom to reveal his hog live on camera.
Yep. What a chat.
Wow.
That was a thing.
Horny on Maine, thirsting for Brent's
So
hog.
now it's not surprising that the chat is now asking us to find Cyclone Larry's girlfriend. That's where we're at now.
Okay, so I do think there's a few things you can do to open this back up, right? So, like, obviously ball movement is one, but maybe you've got to get more attempts. Maybe you need to see Bateman, the bait man. I know I've seen a few, not like starting in place of Torrey, but that guy has no conscience. He will shoot doesn't care. And I also think you've probably got to start to have that conversation of guys until we start to make more shots and just take more attempts. Like some of the last few games, it's been 15 at 3-point attempts, 18 3-point attempts. I don't blame teams for wanting to sag on us. And early in the season, our 3-point percentages were higher. And I actually trust Lipsy taking these shots. I trust Heisey taking these shots. I trust Jefferson taking threes. He's made them in transition. He's made them with a hand in his face at points during the season. So what I don't want to see any more of is this back down into the lane. Jefferson gets it stripped. Someone tries to drive and has nowhere to dish it. And those live ball turnovers are what giving the other team's points. Right.
Yep.
And right now, when we force a live ball turnover, or a turnover, we're deflecting it off somebody out of bounds. We're forcing a travel as they try to get through a double team. All of ours are dead ball turnovers. And it's not that we haven't stopped producing them, but we're not getting, to your point, we've already kind of talked about this, the pick sixes, but other teams, man, it seems like our turnovers are just leading to way too easy of looks. It's not that there's anything that's grossly wrong. That's probably the most frustrating thing about this game. They could have won it. Obviously, this is a game you were a favorite in. You probably should have. Part of me still feels like this is a stretch where you caught a Kansas team who is clearly way better than reflected. They will be probably inside the top 20 this week. And a Cincinnati team that has been kind of hot, unfortunately. And they just shot really well in the first half, way better than they normally would. And you're kind of going through it right now, right? Can we talk about just like long term? I know we've got quite a few people in here. I don't know that this changes a ton of how you view the season. It maybe changes the Big 12 title race. You knew that was going to be brutal anyway with Arizona, BYU, Houston, Kansas. They have a really favorable next month still. And I know Hassel and Williams talked about how we're maybe a victim of our schedule, that we haven't really played a real team since Iowa. It's been over a month. Yeah. And your next 5 are all extremely winnable. There's just they probably shouldn't drop one of these next 5. They maybe will if they can't right the ship. But they've got time to work this out. And what's the goal for this team? I would say the goal for this team is to probably be a top 4 seed in the tournament and hopefully be playing well come March. Yes, winning the Big 12 regular season title would be fantastic. I don't want to put that on the shelf yet, but it's kind of like what we had happen last year until Arizona loses a game, like last year, until Houston just decided to not lose any games. Right? Like Arizona may not decide to lose any either. So I think your goal is just to be really well-rounded into form by the time you get to March. And you're going to need it, right? Once you hit mid-February, there's 5 games in a row there that are brutal. No, we have not reached Larry shoving anything up his ass or asked to be tased yet, but we're getting close. If we lose at home this next week, here's
a fun question. We're going to do this very on brand for us. What are things that you are not willing to do at this current time to change the tide of this Iowa State basketball team? What would be the thing, like if somebody asked you to do that, you're not going to do it because that's just a little too far?
I was having a serious conversation on like, would I be willing to die 10 years earlier if it meant Iowa State won a national championship this year? I don't know when I'm going to die, but the deal was it would just be 10 years earlier than it originally was. And if that guarantees an Iowa State national championship,
that's worth some debate.
If it's like the difference between 82 years old and 72 or like 92, and like if I'm old, what's the difference between
now? Dylan, what's your age? What's your age now, Dylan?
27.
So what if the age
He's young,
of your death?
You're so young.
What if the age of your death is 37? Like Iowa State wins the national title, like you're dead the day after.
Dead early, but
what a way to go out.
But
probably
natty.
Had the best night of my life and just died the next day.
Yeah. I think I'm at butt chug motor oil is probably what I wouldn't do. Like I
great answer. Great answer.
There's a lot of things like you could have butt chug, but motor oil is the first.
Tase Cyclone Larry again. That's clearly the next thing. We need a Tase bet from Cyclone Larry. That's very clearly what's missing here.
Yeah, he's gotten soft in his age.
Also, Larry
in his
fell
old
for
age.
a Texas Tech Utah replay. He thought he was watching a live basketball game, and it was a game from 4 days ago. He's washed. Larry has lost his fastball.
I shouldn't be surprised.
Is Larry losing his Is Larry losing his fastball and Iowa State struggles directly correlated? People are asking. 1986 thinks I need my oil checked. He might be right. There's way too many questions about oil coming into the chat. I really regret saying this. I feel like this is my fault. I opened the oil can here, so to speak.
Well, now I think the thing is here that Matt has thought about possibly putting oil into his ass. That's the thing we should be thinking about here, really.
That's the takeaway from today's game.
Yep, Matt is willing to stop at oil up his butt.
Do you think
are we going synthetic or synthetic?
No? Remember when I was in college, that was a thing. There was like a student at the University of Tennessee who actually did a budget. Matthias, I don't even remember this, and they like died. I think it was like a Four Loko or something. And they
that'll get you.
Like one person did it, and then the whole internet was like, guys, we can't do this, right? This is probably a bad idea. If you're out of oil, you can ask Texas Tech for help.
That's great. Did you say Four Loko? Comment. Because I just typed into Google Four Loko up the butt, and the first thing Reddit is popping up here is butt chugging Four Lokos really an apprentice initiation ritual?
Only one way to find out.
Only one way to find out. It'd be quite a fraternity if that was their initiation ritual. Remember when they used to make Four Loko with caffeine? When they would put 200 plus milligrams of caffeine in a 20-ounce can? Oh, man.
I do remember that. A lot went wrong.
That was before my time. I did not experience.
I did. This guy did.
I think they pulled the caffeine out in like 2012, but man, it was one of those, and you were feeling great for about 4 hours, and two of them borderline trip to the hospital. Like it was on the horizon. It was lurking in the background if you had two of those bad boys.
Me being the dumbass that I am, took two of those Four Lokos, basically drank them in under, let's say, 45 minutes. I died.
Rest in peace.
I died.
On the operating table, brought him back.
Mm-hmm. Not a good day.
Yeah. And Dylan, it was basically like just a malt beverage with a shit ton of caffeine in it. Just not a good idea in hindsight.
I've never had one. They have to taste terrible too. There's no way they can. Yeah.
So bad.
Like synthetic malt watermelon flavored beverage with like 300 milligrams of caffeine. Just not a good situation to put yourself in. Oof. We drank some MD 2020s, a little Mad Dog during college. You could buy a bottle of those things for like $3.
I've had some MD 2020.
You've had some MD 2020. Okay. Yep. Yep.
I remember, and this isn't like, well, it was Visha, the last year of Visha, RIP. Some dude, I was carrying around on brand thing here. I was carrying around a case of Natty Light. Guy walks up to me. He's like, dude, have you ever tried this? I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, he pulls out of his pocket. He goes, he has the little things of Mio, the water, whatever stuff. Yeah. He goes, dude, just put this into your beer. It'll taste like you're having a bottle of water and like your Mio. And I'm like, you're fucking full of shit. So I take that. He's got this lemonade Mio. Pour that thing into my Natty Light, full Natty Light. Take a sip of it. It's like straight lemonade. And this is before seltzers were a thing. So maybe he created seltzers.
Yeah, he went on to make White Claws, and now he's a billionaire.
Mm-hmm. He's congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Our White Claws in college were was it Bud Light who made Lime-A-Ritas?
Yeah.
It was a canned margarita, and it was pure sugar, like your stomach.
Yeah.
No one was more upset than your stomach after you had even just one of those. I believe they came in like little, like 8 or 10 ounce cans, but then you could buy a 25 ounce. You could also buy a 25 ounce can of that. And
a tall boy.
Those were, just awful. Not a good idea.
The first sip of those, like you took, you're like, this isn't half bad. So then you start drinking more, and you're like,
yeah,
now I have diabetes.
That's right. I've turned my stomach inside out with this Lime-A-Rita. Wow, we've really covered a lot of ground here. I did not think we would end up in
honestly,
Lime-A-Ritas today.
I've gotten so sidetracked here by this this Reddit thread of about butt chugging Four Locos that I might have to dive deeper into this.
Bookmark that one.
Yeah, I'm getting that one will be saved for later to see what happened to this guy after butt chugging Four Locos.
Just a bunch of police.
It was kind of like the eating Tide Pods thing, where everyone was like, no one's actually like doing that, right? And then you heard a few people actually did. Okay, the other side note, eating Tide Pods was such a thing that they had to get Gronk on a commercial, basically looking at the camera and just going, don't
Stop
eat Tide Pods. It's like, if this mush-brained human being knows enough to not eat Tide Pods, what is wrong with the rest of you? This man has CTE and his brain is full of Play-Doh, and even Gronk knows I probably shouldn't eat a Tide Pod. Like,
God,
what on earth?
I hope, for the love of God, that Williams and Jake and everybody who is down at the office today is still in the office watching this right now, because they're probably thinking, what the fuck did we get ourselves into?
Tide Pods and butt chugging Four Locos.
I'm waiting for the chat to say they feel like eating Tide Pods after that game today.
Oh, look at this. Fuck you, Cy fan. Look at this. He's Matthias' poster child for don't eat Tide Pods. Get out of here. Yeah. That's probably true.
Jason says, I can't believe people would eat a Tide Pod.
Believe it.
Believe it. Yep. Do we want to give out is there one player that you really thought stood out today other than Mommy? I mean, obviously we've talked about him a ton. Anybody else?
Ask that.
I did.
No.
I was just gonna say, Justin Chapman, can we get this podcast sponsored by Tide Pods? I'll send him a message.
Yeah, we're doing PSAs for free.
Not a sponsor, could be. Yeah, it was pretty tough in these streets, man, to try to pick another player.
Show. The one thing I did want to touch on is
go ahead.
I would say the last two games have given up huge runs. And that's another thing that you don't want this Iowa State team. I think just as concerning as the slow starts, giving up a 20-2 run to Kansas, a 17-5 run to Cincinnati, the way we play defense and the way we want to play basketball, you want to be like, you want it to be as back and forth as possible. It's not even that we need to go on a 10-0 run. The one time you do want that is Hilton, so you can just get the home environment involved. But we're not a team that needs to go on a streak to win games. I think we want games to be as 2-4 runs, 5-3 run. Like, we want just kind of, if they're scoring, we're scoring. If they're not, just control the game and play defense and rebound. So being on the other end of these huge extended streaks of scoring and scoring droughts, that is another really big concern going forward, I think.
And it's pretty atypical for this team, Dylan. It's not like we give this up a lot, but we definitely have. I would say even against Oklahoma State, they had a few runs that they went on that made it interesting. So, guys, I really think this all comes down to defense. Our defensive intensity is what drives. I know we talked about the half court and how it needs to be better, but the defense leads to offense, A, but B, like we can't give up 80+ points to Cincinnati.
Hold on. I think keep talking.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna go get something.
Oh, John's asking the pest of the game, Cincinnati or the scoring drought. My wife would say Jefferson's dribbling is the pest of the game. She was not amused with how loose he was with the handle today.
I think Levi Stevenson. There we go. There it is.
We are in the car now.
Thank you.
For you people who want this. This is the furthest I can get.
There he is.
Because I am.
I really
large.
hope we screenshot this. Someone screenshot that now.
It's been screenshotted. This is the second time. We'll stay here.
Incredible.
I'm going to screenshot it myself right now just for posterity. Who do we make the pest of the game? I think we give it to Nate Schmidt.
Oh,
I was waiting for Matthias's reaction.
Yes.
No,
I think the Bob Miller.
Cincinnati gets pest in the game. They hit some just ridiculous tough shots. Yes.
And the more big athletic bigs we play, I think like Blake Buchanan is going to have a chance to redeem himself. Like we're going to play a lot of really talented posts in the Big 12. But I mean, I think the tape is out there now. Like Kansas, Cincinnati, I think to some extent Oklahoma State have kind of exposed the defense. I think those lapses are known, and it's whether teams can execute or not. Because some teams won't execute. They're going to come into Hilton. They're going to get knocked around.
No.
Did you just throw that through a wall? That was the loudest.
Was it really loud?
Yeah. Your mic either loved that or you threw that through your garage door.
Oh, no, I just rolled it that way.
Okay.
Yeet!
I think his mic just loved it.
Yeah. It was just like following the pink car as it went down the.
This is the content you people pay for. Or don't pay for. Well, either way.
In case you're interested, we just had a fat man touchdown in the Broncos game.
Hell yeah.
A man named Frank Crum just scored a touchdown. How about that?
That's a fat
big boy,
name.
number 74.
Hell yeah. Right there.
Shout out to all the fat guys.
Frank Crum, fat guy name.
Fat guy name for sure.
Dude,
Frank Crum is a guy who goes to Subway and gets 2 footlongs. Not one.
I love going through the chat here and like seeing everybody try to like spell my name. It's like either butchered or right. And yes, I definitely 100% did not fit in that car. There are ways for me just to basically put my shoulders and head in that actually, Dylan and Levi had yelled at me for like a year to get inside that car. And the day I decided to do it, I tried to physically put myself in it. Did not work. Then I got my shoulders in on camera for whatever reason. And then Matt Campbell left for Penn State right after. So
thanks, Matthias.
Yeah.
The truth comes out that was all your fault.
Oh, dude. Now I made John feel bad. Don't feel bad. Like it's pronounced wrong every time. It's spelled wrong every time. Like I'm used to it at this point. I know who you're talking about. You could have said, hey, dumbass. And I would have said, yeah, that's me. Yep.
Matthias. Do we need to say it phonetically?
Matthias, I think.
Okay.
Matthias.
There's like Matthias. Somebody is called like at work. Like somebody called in like, hey, they're like talking about their fuel barrel or propane tank, whatever. They're like, is that Matthias guy there? And I'm like, Jesus, how did we get here? One guy called me Mark. One guy from Minneapolis who sells us LP parts, and I doubt he's listening to this, so screw him. He called me Miss Markakos once.
Close enough.
How?
Starts with an N.
Would you say the guy from Minneapolis? That's right. Would you say he sells propane and propane accessories? How often do you get Hank Hill jokes? Come on.
Every day. Just the accessories part that guy sold.
Yeah, that's right. Just all the time. Okay, perfect. This is fun. Hopefully it's cathartic. Do we have any more comments from listeners we need to give a shout to? I mean, the chat is absolutely a wreck right now. Someone says, hey, dumbass, take a drink. Okay, we can do that.
The one thing I do want to talk, UCF is playing Arizona really close.
1986. I can't repost that comment.
I love it. I love Matt Matt is in his internet is like in and out of like either right with us or behind, and it's just kind of funny to keep up with him a little bit.
Also, that's kind of how Matt always is. Like Matt might break news.
What are we running down there, Matt? We got MediaCom. What do you got down there in Ames?
A hamster running on a wheel.
Sponsored by MediaCom. What do they get? They didn't have media.
Not a sponsor. It could be.
What they have down there? They had MediaCom, and then they had that MetroNet came in. Do you have MetroNet, Matt?
I don't. I think one of my college apartments.
I've got MetroNet.
Dylan, are you in Ankeny?
I'm in Des Moines, downtown.
Do you have MetroNet?
No, I was just looking at I have it like magnet on my fridge. It says something CS. Don't know. It works.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out. Better than butt chugging Four Locos, you know?
Butt chugging oil. The last thing I want to say kind of game-wise, home against UCF, I'm really glad it's a home game.
Yep.
I don't know how many days they got in between Kansas and Cincinnati. I would guess at least 3 because they flew back Tuesday night. I know that. So, but I think being at home is going to go a long ways for this team. And UCF is completely different on the road and at home. At home, they're really good. They beat Kansas at home. They're playing Arizona really close. On the road, it's a different story. I think UCF is a tough place to play in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah. And it was when we went a couple of years ago, too.
Yeah. That's a tough place to play. But you get them on the road, and they're kind of a different team.
Yeah, they lost handily to Oklahoma State on the road. Iowa State can win that. It's truly a get right game in every sense of the word.
Yeah, this was a disappointing loss. I think the panic button is open if you lose to UCF at home. I think that's when it's like, hey, shit needs to change immediately if we want the season to go.
That is the auxiliary nuclear panic button, like from Christmas Vacation, right? Like the break glass in case of emergency panic button. If you stretch out the next stretch of games to Kansas and Houston at home on Valentine's Day and on Big Monday, you've got on the road at TCU, guys. TCU is really struggling, kind of counting up to today. Baylor at home, a team you beat on the road, you should be able to win at home. At Kansas State, again, another team that is really struggling. Will Jerome Tang be their coach by February? That's a great question. At this point, I would bet no.
Yeah.
You've got
I thought
UCF
that about
at home
Wes Miller though too, and Wes Miller just beat us.
Very true. You've got next 3. You've got UCF at home at Oklahoma State, a team that you just beat. That they certainly can play tough and competitive. I do think we match up pretty well with them, and that game would not have been as close in Ames had a couple guys not gone nuclear from 3. And then a Colorado team at home who has really struggled on the road as well. So it's a very winnable. It's a very winnable stretch of games. And
winnable stretch, but you got to look at this Oklahoma State game down in Stillwater the same as today.
That's going to be a tough one. Yep, you're going to get their best shot, no question.
And is Victorious Miller, is he back in the lineup or is he still sitting out? Because they were without their second leading scorer.
We could assume that he's going to play,
right?
Because he just rolled his ankle in that.
They thought he was going to be ready to go before the game. And
I'm pretty sure he played the last game. Let me look here just to be sure. I don't want to be spreading misinformation. Yeah, did he play against Baylor? Yes, he did. 31 minutes, 5. Oh, he fouled out. 14 points that game. So, barring another injury, he'll be back.
Yep. So that's I would say in the immediate future, that is the most concerning game for me. Is that Stillwater? Yeah,
at this point, you just break it out into week by week, and other people are gonna say you got to go one game at a time, but you just got to find a way to go 2-0 every week the rest of the way. And not lose games you're not supposed to at home. Protect the home court and then just do what you can on the road. I mean, that's really the recipe for any Big 12 season. Don't lose your home games and win some crazy ones on the road. So see what happens.
Pee in the litter box, not on the carpet.
Correct.
Yep.
I get it. It took me a little bit. I connected those dots.
Yeah, I got that. I got that reference. I like that one. I like that. I've never used that once in my life. Huh. Well,
what was the first?
Any more final parting shots?
Matuus, got anything?
Hey,
Mateus?
There's Mateus.
This is a great. Hold on, this is a great comment. Are the men and women in a running bet to see who can lose the most in a row?
Let's
John, I sure hope not. It does feel that way. I said to these guys before we went live, Brock Purdy against Drew Lock and the Seahawks can certainly make us all feel a lot better.
Or it can make
so
us
let's
feel
all
worse.
Or worse.
Brock, if you listening, please, Brock, please.
We need it.
I guess, guys, here's our suggestion for the night. Just forget about it. Go crack a cold one. Turn on the Broncos and Bills game. I don't even know how to
It's
that
hard.
right here,
Yeah.
right
I've
here.
tried that before. It's tough.
Turn it on, enjoy that game, and then hopefully, have some more cold ones. Watch Brock Purdy take on the Seahawks to try to get to the NFC Championship game for a third time in 4 years.
Dog.
And then turn on more football tomorrow. Enjoy the day. They'll be back.
Yeah.
They'll be back on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it is. I think it's Tuesday. And to take on UCF and pull out a win.
I think
we are winning at Texas.
We are winning at I think, John, permission to cry granted. I think to exercise the demons, if we lose another game, maybe we need to get Bloom to burn the Amish bench, like a sacrificial bench burning.
Ooh.
We can heap sticks and straw up around it. Maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Funeral. Send it down to Skunk River.
For the that's right.
Yes.
We can get Hassel to light the pyre himself. I think he'd love that. All right, that's all I've got. Go Niners,
right,
go Purdy.
Well, yeah, go 49ers. Dylan, you got any more final shots?
No. Brock Purdy, please don't make me sad.
I'm gonna end this podcast the same way that Levi and I do every single time with my scare video. A video. We could tase. Yeah, you could tase me all you want. Like, go for it. Like, I don't care. Like, Matesis. That's a sick name, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I like that.
Yeah.
Not
Keep that in your back pocket.
I might patent pending on that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, guys, we'll get out of here. Go enjoy the rest of your evening. Go watch the 49ers beat the Seahawks, and then we will be back Monday night. Levi, maybe Dylan, if he doesn't have syphilis again. Dylan Sainer.
Not me.
Dylan Kuhn does not have syphilis. Maybe.
The one that looks like an NFL player, not
the NFL, former NFL player, Dylan Sainer. We will be back Monday night. The Lightcast will be recorded again on Monday night. So more content coming your way. We'll be back on the post-game show on Tuesday night following the UCF game. I have no idea who's going to be on that one, and I'm not going to go look. So we will be back. Go 49ers, and we'll see you on Monday.